Chaos is back.
Spiking bits.
Welcome back, hobby maniacs. I'm Baer from SpikyBits.com, and it's an exciting time. Chaos is back. New Marines, new Primaris, all sorts of things. Games Workshop, of course, has this brand new box set out this week, Shadowspear. Very exciting. Price point $175, but you do get a lot of squads in here. You get 11 different kits or individual models, which is kind of unheard of because normally you get 8. So you get a bonus 3. I don't know why that, it's more than the normal 160, but if you think about it, you're paying basically $5 extra squad, spread it out however you want through here. I know a lot of people are splitting this between the Chaos and the Marine side. So overall, it's really exciting because you get a look at some of the design process, and hopefully this is a preview for more amazing looking kits, multi-part kits on both sides of Renegade and Loyalist factions here in the future, just like we saw with Dark Imperium and normal Marines or Primaris Marines and Death Guard. So it's very, very exciting time. Let's jump into the box because I think there's a lot of stuff to take in, and we're going to build some of these today, just the important ones, just the ones that are really cool, and just to kind of show you how they square up and how they look compared to some of the other existing models out there, and give you some kind of gotchas and different things out there. So when you open up the box, you're going to get, I think it's 7 sprues in here. 2 of them are duplicated from the Marines. It's not going to look quite like this. There's actually, they put some bubble wrap in here to kind of secure everything together. You're going to get your instruction manual, your rules, your Shadowspear campaign manual, which is going to give you a bunch of different missions and stuff that you can play. For a lot of you, you're not probably going to care about that. What you're going to care about is this, because these individual codex books are going to have the points, the warlord traits, all the specific rules for fitting them into either Loyalist or Renegade Legion keyword or Marine keyword here, or chapter keyword rather, and they explain all that in here and with some restrictions and caveats and things. Here, I'll just go ahead and show it to you. So there's the point values that everybody seems so coy to show on their videos. There's the warlord traits. There's your new librarian disciplines. There's your chapter tactics, which we already saw. You've already seen probably the data sheets, but here's exactly how you shoehorn them in to your actual chapter rules and such. Same thing with this. They have the whole section in here. We're not going to show you the data sheets because we don't have to. They're already out there. They've been out there. So here's how you shoehorn everything into your existing Legion keywords, and some specific restrictions on who can take what, etc. And then if you fast forward to the back, readable points values, readable warlord traits, readable malefic discipline. Here, I'll move my fat hand out of the way. And yada, yada, yada. We have all the things now. So there it is. So you're going to want to see all that. Now, we're going to take a look at the instructions as well, just to show you real quick how some of this goes together. Also, if you're wondering what's in the bottom of the box, you get the little poster to protect all those valuable manuals. You get your 100 mil round base for the Venom Crawler, your 50s for your Jump Troop suppressors, pack of bases there, all of the sprues, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to show you each sprue here individually after we take a look at the manual. So diving in real quick on how you are going to have to assemble these, you're going to see all the different sprues right here. Like, remember I said there's 2 of this one right here. So you're going to get the individual clan packs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's 8, but 1 is duplicated. So it's 7 unique sprues. I knew I was onto something with that 7. And here's kind of how they go together. Nothing too crazy. The characters are going to go together your typical multi-part fashion, as you would expect. The rest of the stuff's just kind of computer slices. And we're not going to really give you a whole lot of gotchas because we just don't know quite yet. I would imagine a lot of it's going to go together very similar to the Dark Imperium and such. But here you can see where there's 2. So you got 2 of the Eliminators. You've got a whole slew of 3 of the, what are these, Infiltrators are duplicated. And 2 of the 3 Suppressors are also duplicated, as you can see right here. So when they line them up, you can see left and right. Those actually look the same if you just tilted it. Now, some of these have different heads, as you can see on the Eliminators, but they have to go on specific ones as well. So you're not going to get any extra parts in here. You are going to be able to kind of customize them, but not like choice of parts, just like, hey, put this one here, or hey, put this one here. As far as Chaos goes, all of the normal, or all the Space Marines are not duplicated. They're all unique poses, and they look great. The Chaos Possessed goes together left and or front and right halves. It looks like the arm is actually part of him here, which is kind of ginormous and such. So those look really cool. Maybe we'll get to one of those. I definitely want to build the Obliterators, or at least one of them, and the Venom Crawler, just to show you how complicated or not complicated, or what gotchas there may be there, because it seems like those are kind of some of the standout units for this particular kit right here. So let's check out the sprues. So sprue wise, this is what you got here. This is your duplicated sprue, believe it or not. So it is going to contain 2 of the suppressors, 2 of the I think 3 infiltrators, and then also 1 duplicate eliminator, which seems to be right here. Now there's also something in this book too, about how the Reavers are actually in Phobos armor. So they get keyword Phobos, so that'll probably be an FAQ that'll drop right about this time as well. Here's your 2 characters that are going to come in here for actually, yes, 2. I think there's actually 3, but these are the 2 multi-part characters. So you got the Captain and the Librarian right here, which look great. I mean, the detail is very good. The flowing capes and everything looks super spectacular, and the little force weapon doodads on there. And then this guy, let me move him out of the way so the camera doesn't focus on him. Here's your Captain, and he looks great. He's got his super bolt gun of power and all the flowy capes, all the detail work there. Only 1 choice ahead. So, but it is a multi-part head, so you could switch it out if you really wanted to. If it bothers you that much, like, hey, stupid, put on a helmet, well, you could definitely convert it that way if you want. There's double sprue. Oh, and here's the Master of Sacrifice, which with the previews of the Lord Relictor or Lord of Discord, I can't even tell you anymore. Everything's starting to sound the same. The Discord guy on Super Dinobot. We'll just go with that. Just go with that. He looks super dope, and we know that the Demon Engine thing is definitely going to be a thing. So it seems like a lot of folks are going to need this Master of Sacrifice here, and he does the Lord's work with casting spells and sacrificing things and restoring wounds, and hopefully there's additional auras and stuff to be revealed. I imagine the Discord on Dinobot will have a lot more to be seen here in the near future. Here is your Chaos sprue. So it looks to be just pure Chaos. Now, at first I thought there was extra parts on here for the Venom Crawler, but it looks like that's just what's his face over here, the Greater Possessed guy. So you can see it's gonna be a jambalaya of jigsaw puzzleness just to figure out what part goes where. Now they're all numbered, and in the instruction manual it does tell you and give you, but maybe we'll post up the how to, which ones to cut out and things like that, because generally we go through and we make a big map out of this, and it really helps us be able to tell like what goes where. So maybe we'll post that up here on the social medias and such on release weekend, because that would really help out folks, I imagine. And then you've got the Marine side of that, which is only going to contain 1 of your suppressor guys here, the rest of your infiltrators, and your 1 eliminator. So you're gonna have 2 eliminators on that other sprue. So it's really interesting how they get so many models on so less of sprues. And I mean, it's good for Games Workshop because it really saves them on production costs, but also they don't look that bad. That you put these guys on the tabletop and you're like, oh man, that one's duplicated. If they switch out the head and they do a couple extra things here, I'm kind of okay with it. Like before I was like, it feels like they're kind of ripping you off, but nowadays it's just all the stuff looks so different and so good with all these poses and the extra development they put into it, hiding the mold lines and such, which hopefully we will find out here in a second when we start to actually assemble some of these. Well, I hope that it stands up and it stands the test of time here. So you got your Venom Crawler, the Obliterators, and it looks to be all the parts I can identify right off the bat here. So Obliterators definitely have some very unique looking components right there. So I'm not sure what we're going to see as far as underhangs and things like that, but we're gonna jump right in and I think start with them on the assembly. Whew. Man, let me tell you what, that was pretty fun. So wow, these kits are so much better than what I imagined. Everything about these multi-part kits is great. I tried to put together one of everything, and I was really impressed by how much Games Workshop can manipulate the frames and the sprues and everything, like just to hide all the gaps and everything, like this little tail plate here on the Obliterator, these front armor plates here. It's amazing how it all goes together and how it all works. And even the little tubes, everything has a spot. It's just incredible the amount of effort and design work and foresight that goes into this stuff is just incredible. Now there are some things I don't like, and we'll get to those here in a second. So Obliterators here, great kit, 50 mil now, right? And when you start thinking about it, I mean, the design on this, it's got everything, right? So these are its flesh metal guns, but I mean, look at the design work, all the tubes, the three-dimensionalist kind of look to it. Now, I didn't trim down all the flash, which is no big deal, because it kind of gives you an idea of the extra amount of work that you'll have to kind of put into it when you're working on yours. So there's a lot of extra gaps and extra things here, or excuse me, extra mold lines that you're gonna have to trim down and just kind of be careful with. But overall, it's a very easy kit to go together, and it's amazing how it hides those gaps with the armor plates on the front and things. This is a very striking model. Here's a look at a conversion I did probably 15 years ago. Here's an older Obliterator here on a 40 mil base, and he's kind of standing up and kind of doing his thug thizzle with a little bit of conversions on him from back in the day, and he is about the same size ish, but I feel like the new plastic one is definitely filled out a lot more than this guy right here. So this is the old metal one. It actually weighs a chunk, and I killed a forge rolled upgrade door right there. Actually used some guitar wire. Did all sorts of crazy stuff back then. It was the golden age for conversion, but now we've got this stuff here, and this stuff looks great too, but it isn't very interchangeable. So next up's the Venom Crawler, and this guy's pretty cool too. The way everything kind of assembles together, it kind of slots into these holes right here. And what I don't like, or what I didn't like, was the way that these armor plates kind of snapped into these holders right here. They're very particular, so be careful with that. There's little nubs in there, but other than that, it went together very well. All the gaps for the most part are hidden, except for your main seam line that goes all the way around. And then this, actually, I didn't even glue this in. That can actually pull off right there, but it's very well detailed. It's so well done. But again, you're not going to be able to exchange out or switch out any weapons or anything if they come out with a multi-part kit later. This actually might be able to pull off, but I don't know where you get the rest of the parts. Now, comparing it size-wise to something else that is a little bit smaller, this is what, a Leviathan or a Redemptor, and is it the same size base? I thought it was on 80. Yeah, it's on an 80. This one's on a 100. So just to give you an idea of the exact size between the two, it is a little bit taller than the Venom Crawler, but girth-wise, the Venom Crawler definitely has it covered right here. So it's very cool. Very cool little miniature for Chaos. Not sure how effective it is going to be rules-wise, but it's definitely one of the dopest creations they've come out with in a while. And now that we've done the Chaos side, it's time to do the Marine. So here is the new Infiltrator model, which looks very familiar, right? Almost looks like a Reaver, because it is kind of a Reaver. Now they've got confirmed Phobos armor according to the codex in here, so they'll be getting a keyword update. So this one went together pretty well. This is one of the duplicate poses. And then here's an actual Reaver. Oh, did I put it on the wrong side of the base? I guess I did. Oh well, it's on the wrong side of the base. Don't kill me. Didn't trim down a lot of the flash, but it snaps together, or it doesn't snap together. It's only like 5 parts, I want to say. Super quick and easy to get together. The head, one piece. The backpack's one piece. Left, right arm, left, right leg-ish. It's more of a computer slice. And as you can tell, sized up to the Reavers themselves, man, you can't even tell them apart for the most part. They're definitely very, very close. And last but not least is the suppressors, which are getting internet memed the world over, I suppose. I didn't put his head in there. There we go. Socket his head in. These guys, I mean, just at first glance, are very, very dope looking. Like, boom, 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 wow, I'm flying off the table. But they've got so much detail going on here with little skis and everything on the front. Then you've got this ammo feed right here, and everything going on, spare grenades that are actually, I guess, part of the model right here, but they are actually part of the autocannon, super autocannon bit. But other than that, it's very cool looking, and you might notice this little round piece right here. So that is where you're supposed to put, oops, and I don't have any out here. That's where you're supposed to put the the little flight stand, and it doesn't really. This is, of course, one off of the Inceptor I'm about to show you, but it doesn't really work. I would be very careful with this. I would definitely recommend maybe doing some sort of magnet deal. And here's how it looks like compared to an Inceptor. So they have very similar shoes and styling and things. Not quite, you know, they got the grab chute and not quite the full-on jetpack right here, as we've discovered throughout all the internet memes this week. But they still look very cool, and they hold up pretty much for the most part size-wise as well. Now, here's the thing. I would definitely recommend getting these Magnet Baer and upgrade kits. They're very cool. They're easy to install. You could just shave off that those bottom pieces right there and put that magnet, put that ball bearing right there, and you would be good to go. These things kind of slot forward a little bit to make it look more dynamic. And the cool part is that you know, it just kind of snaps right in. So when you go to store your guys, boom, you know, you can just put them in a little slot. So check out Magnet Baer. It's actually, this is the kit right here. Small posable magnetic flight stands. They're only about $5 or so, I think. Don't quote me on that. It's very, very close price-wise. So that is our build part of this. I want to go over some pricing real quick on kind of some of the contents that are coming out. So real quick, one of the things I like to do is value breakdowns on all the new stuff. And if you take the valuation Games Workshop was spitting out, and they were saying something about $400 worth of value in this starter box to stores to entice them to, you know, order big numbers, and people are going to want this stuff. It's going to be great. We came up with kind of our best guess, so to speak, on values. Now, our best guess going off the 3 model kind of squad for the suppressors would be $50, because that basically goes off the same as the Inceptors were when they first came out. Infiltrator squad could be worth $60, because that seems to be what they value a large squad of Primaris at, a 10-man squad right there, and that's the only way to get the Apothecary Duder. And then the Lieutenant, Librarian, and Captain, you know, you figure Lieutenant probably $25, Librarian and Captain could be as high as $35, as we've seen the standalones for them. But it's really hard to say. So anywhere between $25 and $35. And then the Eliminator, again, another 3-man squad. It's really hard to say what the actual value on that might be, give or take. But you could make a case that it would be a $50 value right there if they come out with a set. But they might up the squad size to 6 and say, hey, you get 6 for whatever. It's really hard to say at this point. But judging off of these guys, it could be as high as $50. Now on the Chaos side of things, that's where it gets kind of crazy, but it's a little bit more easier to kind of dial in. Master Possession will probably be $25. Could be as high as $35 if he's a special character. He is the clan pack, so I would imagine he would end up being $35 at the end of the day. Chaos Space Marine 10-man squad probably going to be $60. That's what it goes for currently. Now they are the resculpts and a little bit bigger than the normal Chaos Marine, so it's really hard to say. But I would honestly put a $60 retail value on that, most likely. Greater Possessed, 2 characters, I would say $40. They seem to be, if you're getting 3 for $50, 2 for $40 seems to be GW math. I don't know, but we're gonna go with that and see if it sticks. And then the Venom Crawler out the gate, probably $60. I think we saw the Bloat drone thing at $50, but I could definitely see where this is a little bit bigger on a much bigger base, more parts to it. So I would think between $50 and $60, but I'll probably end up being $60. If you take the higher end at all those prices I mentioned, you're probably looking at an actual close to retail value, at least when it comes out in multi-part kit, of around $480, give or take. It could be as high as $520, but I think $480 to $450 is probably more of a realistic price for what these kits will come out with separately. So that's it for this one. We put some stuff together. We showed you the new sprues, showed you the new rules. There really isn't much left for Shadowspear. Just waiting on more Vanguard and more Demonkin to come out for Chaos. So that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching this long video, but I think we covered it all. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can like and comment on all our videos.